Hello and welcome to This Week in Movies, where we are talking about the most pressing, urgent stories in Hollywood this week, and that means we absolutely, of course, could only start with one major story, and that is does Batman go down on his ladies? Now, it was revealed in an interview earlier this week from creator of the Harley Quinn series, which is like the more adult cartoon animated series. It said in the third season of Harley Quinn, we had a moment where Batman was going down on Catwoman, and DC was like, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. Heroes don't do that. There's a lot to unpack here with a statement like that. Heroes don't do that. And of course, it got everybody talking. So one Batman had to step in and offer his thoughts on it. And that was Val Kilmer, who starred as Batman in Batman Forever, posted this tweet where he said, "Does he or doesn't he?" with a gift from the movie that says, "We could give it a try. I'll bring the wine." Now, in that movie, Batman is romancing Dr. Chase Meridian, who is played by Nicole Kidman, who was one of the hottest, most sought-after actresses in Hollywood at the time that this movie was made. So, Val Kilmer has his thoughts on it, and then that Chad, that unbelievable, just controversy-stirring Chad, Zack Snyder, had to give his thoughts because, if there's a chance to dunk on Warner Brothers for doing something stupid, Zack Snyder cannot be far behind. We're getting ready to just posterize them. So, I don't know if this is artwork from a movie or if this is artwork from a comic or if he had this commissioned. But this is what Zack Snyder posted on his Twitter and said, canon. So I feel like I've never seen this image, but so I feel like he reached out to an artist and was like, "Hey, I need some art. It's hyper specific. How fast can you get me a graphic novel style illustration of Batman going down on Catwoman? Please, it's important. I need this within 48 hours or I can't properly dunk on Warner Brothers here." So that this became such a hot button issue for Warner Brothers is also a little odd, because in the film version of The Killing Joke, there's a whole scene where Batgirl essentially rapes Batman. She just kind of gets on top of him and is like, "All right, well," and so it's not like the thought of Batman going down on Catwoman would have been such a huge talking point if it hadn't been, if it hadn't blown up like this to where everyone was just dunking on Warner Brothers for being stupid. And immediately too, something that was great was DJ Khaled started trending, and everyone was like, "Oh, when did DJ Khaled take over Warner Brothers? Oh, I didn't know DJ Khaled worked for DC Films. Huh?" It's just so stupid. Obviously, when you're gonna say heroes don't do, come on. I'm pretty sure it's only heroes that do that. In Fast and the Furious news, Vin Diesel has unfortunately come out and said that all things must have an ending. He spoke at length about why it was a good time to call it for the Fast franchise. And he said that, in fact, it would be ending after 2 more movies, once they get to 11. And Vin Diesel, it says, opened up about the thought process behind the decision to bring the Fast and the Furious to an end after 11. Number one, the reason is money. So, of course, they're going to do 2 more. But here, let's go to his quote. He said, "I love the fact that I get to play Dom Toretto. The finale comes because every good story needs a finale. because every book that you've read has a last chapter, because that's the nature of storytelling. I'm sure that there are people that would love for Fast to continue on and on and on and on. The universe, the Fast universe, will do that clearly, and there will be different iterations of stories and different storylines that are played out in the future. But in terms of this mythology, I think we owe it to the fans, even though I suspect it'll feel bittersweet to a lot of people, to give them a finale. There's a lot in there, but I'm going to just focus on one chunk of this quote. The universe, the Fast universe, will do that clearly, and there will be different iterations of stories and different storylines that are played out within the future. So they're just going to make Fast movies, but call them something else. So like maybe it'll be like a Dominic Toretto movie, or it'll be like Tej and Roman in a buddy comedy. Like, they're not ending, like, this is too successful a franchise for Universal. Like, this is arguably one of the biggest properties that Universal has now at this point. And it's clear to me that, you know, they're going to talk up ending the main series, but there's already talks of an all-female spin-off. There's talks of a Hobbs and Shaw sequel. You know Vin Diesel's not going to just let Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw be the only franchise go. He's not going to let The Rock do that. So I'm curious to see, like, I'm sure, apparently the movies will be in development and are currently targeting probably 2023 and 24 to come out for 10 and 11. So I'll be really curious to start to hear what the what the plan is for those, and like what the spin-offs that are announced and confirmed and what starts getting developed. But for now, yes, maybe the main Fast and the Furious series is gonna come to an end, but by no means are any of these characters going anywhere. And in additional Fast and the Furious news, kind of. So Tyreese Gibson was giving an interview to promote Fast 9, which hits theaters in the US finally, I believe, June 24th. And he is also going to appear in the upcoming Sony Marvel movie Morbius, which is a spin-off movie about a Spider-Man villain, Michael Morbius, who will be played by Jared Leto. And while doing an interview for the Fast and the Furious, Tyreese was like, you know what? I'm going to drop some quotes. I'm going to give you some nuggets about Morbius here. You ready for this? And he said, the movie was pushed to October 2022 because they want to take advantage of that Halloween energy. Then he was asked if it was going to be set in the MCU, where he looked at the interviewer and just said yes. That's a huge confirmation. One of the stars of the movie says, hey, this is going to be part of the MCU. That could be huge because, as we know, Spider-Man is in the MCU, and then Sony's trying to do their own Spider-Verse type of thing. And the rumors of them converging the two Spider-Man universes has long been, they've been going on for basically since Spider-Man was added to the MCU. So Tyreese comes out, says 2022, October now. It's been delayed 5 times. Here's the 6th one, but this is the last one because they want to get that Halloween energy. And then he says, yes, it's in the MCU. So less than like 5 hours after this interview came out, Sony had to put out a statement, and their statement said, according to GameSpot, Sony Pictures confirmed that Morbius is still on track to be released January 28th, 2022. Coincidentally, it's also my birthday, but it's okay. Furthermore, Morbius will not join the MCU. Instead, it will remain rooted in Sony's rival Marvel universe. Incredible. So this entire tidbit, like Tyreese was probably like, oh, I'm going to give the fans something. This is going to be awesome. Get them all. I know they're already so hyped for Morbius. We got to just, give them the Morbius nuggets. And instead, Sony had to come out and just basically retract every single thing he said. Like, that sucks. So you know how every week, basically now I come on here and I talk about how John Wick is going to be the greatest movie ever, how John Wick 4 is going to somehow top the other three that are already the greatest movies ever. Well, this time, they've topped themselves yet again with this cast, because they announced that Hiroyuki Sanada is going to join the cast. He was just in Army of the Dead, and he was Scorpion in the newest Mortal Kombat reboot, and now he's going to be in John Wick 4. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this movie should, like, you can't keep announcing these cast members. So it's Keanu Reeves. It's going to be Lawrence Fishburne, of course, coming back. You're going to probably have Ian McShane back as Winston. Then you add Donnie Yen last week, and this week you add Hiroyuki Sanada. Like, it is just an incredible cast that they're putting together. There's no description of what he's going to be doing, what his character will be. You can assume it's probably going to be playing some super badass, because that, like, just seems to be what he does. And I mean, just the sky's the limit here. Like, I can't, like, so we know Donnie Yen is going to be, like, John Wick's friend and ally, by the description of his character. But, like, if, like, this is going to just be, like, let's watch all of these dudes team up to just fight for 2 hours. Like, I did not think that it could possibly get better after John Wick 2, and then 3 was better than 2. And now here we are, where I'm like, nothing could beat 3. Like, 3 is incredible. No, I feel pretty confident in saying 4 is going to be, like, arguably the most must-see movie. Like, it's just incredible. I'm just saying, we get all these hashtags that are like, restore the Snyderverse, release the Snyder Cut, release the Ayer Cut. How about we get a Justice for Catwoman hashtag going here? How about hashtag Justice for Catwoman? And let's let DC and Warner Brothers know that we are not going to tolerate our heroes being prudes. I would love to know what all of the wives of the DC and Warner Brothers executives have to say about their comments that heroes don't do that. Why don't we ask the wives what heroes do or don't do?